Aloha, this is Eyre, and I am here with Maui Pono Network. And in lieu of our weekly county meetings update and what to look forward to, we're going to talk a little bit about the budget process because the county council is now thick in the budget process and the budget review and amendment process. And the mayor's office has just finished this enormous budget and sent it to the county council. So the mayor's office and administration is relieved that they've handed it off, and now the county council has to look at it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what the budget is about and what the process is here. So first of all, everyone can access the budget. So the budget is available on the county website, and probably the easiest place to access it is just from the county minutes from the last budget meeting. Every budget meeting that the county council has, it's available. You can also just type in Maui County Budget 2022. And what you'll pull up is an 850-page budget, and that's pretty typical. Every year we're getting this massive 800 to 900-page budget. It starts off, and what I want to point out is the budget that is given to the council is the mayor's budget. It is not the county's budget yet. It is not the county's budget until the county council amends it and approves it. So as it's delivered to them, it is considered the mayor's budget. And that's why you see lots of pictures of the mayor on here, because he's the one that has prepared this. He's the head over the departments. He's the head over the budgeting office. And this is really his prerogative, how this budget is done. The council can make requests kind of on the side to the mayor that certain things are included in the budget, but we aren't privy to what those are. So as it's handed to them, the mayor is saying, this is how I'd like our money spent. There's also, if you look on the council meeting minutes and agenda, it will also give you a shortened version of the budget that's like 32 pages, I think, and it kind of gives you a little breakdown, but it's not very pretty. So I think it's actually better to go and get into this 850-page budget, and then you can look at the different pictures that are shown in the budget. So right here we have kind of this. Maybe I'll just move along on this one. We have the mayor saying what the budget is about. This is the draft, I'm guessing, because there's a few issues on it. But you'll go through. This is probably the most important part that everybody needs to read. Everybody on the island that's participating in any sort of public improvement, you need to read these first 12 pages from the mayor. And that's where his personal plea to the council is like, this is why I did the budget this way. This is why I would like you to approve it as it is. And he kind of follows the line of the goals of the county in general. So he talks about housing, he talks about county services, he talks about cultural and arts, parks and rec, public safety, climate change, infrastructure, kind of the operating highlights. And then you can go over here. This is really interesting, and I think a lot of people might find this little, I'm not sure if our faces are in the way here, but this is a overview of how the sources are garnered. So this is where we get our money from. Sorry, sources of funds. No, this is not the sources of funds. This is where we get, I'm going to find it. Hold on one second. All right, right here, let's do this. These are the revenues that we have. So we have the property taxes, our circuit breaker tax credit, all the different ways that we have money come in. And we end up bringing in about, last year, I think we only brought in 860 million, but this year we're showing an estimated or a proposed revenue source of $950 million. Now that might seem outrageous. Something I try to tell people is we actually are a pretty well-off county. If you look at all counties in the United States, we are right at the median per capita. So we bring in about the middle amount. I think we're about the same as like San Diego County and a couple other of the bigger counties. So we have quite a lot of money per person in the county to use. And we don't cover education. So most counties also cover education. That's a big thing to keep in mind. We don't cover that. Now, my concerns in the budget over the last few years have been, we are a pretty wealthy county, and yet our quality of life is awesome because of our natural resources. But as far as the county goes, we actually enjoy less services than other counties who are bringing in the same amount of money per capita. part of that is because a lot of our money supports our main industry, which is tourism, not directly but indirectly. So a lot of our road usage, we'll have 3 million extra people a year using our roads. And so we have a lot of road infrastructure issues that have to be taken care of out of our budget, but those people aren't paying county taxes. We have a lot of fire and safety personnel that are utilized by the tourism industry, but they don't pay into the county taxes. So those directly. So that's why we're seeing kind of that discrepancy. And that's something that hopefully over the next few years is addressed even better as we've had this opportunity to look at tourism and see how it affects us financially as a county. But this is a good page for everyone to look at if you're just interested in giving a sneak peek at the budget. And the thing that I would like to talk about now, let me just go over here, is the budget process. So what happens is this 850-page document has been given to the council, and then they have until July 1st. I think they usually finish in June, so the beginning of June, but officially July 1st, it has to be approved and ready to go. They have this time where they fine-tooth comb the entire budget. They're going to go through every capital improvement, every project, every park that's getting a new slide, and make sure that those meet the goals of the county and the county plan. Now, the main thing for the public to understand is that April 16th is our main public hearing. So this is very important. From 6 to 9 p.m., only 3 hours, that is when the county asks the public to weigh in on the budget as it's been presented. That doesn't mean that you can't submit testimony and that you can't reach out to your council representative for your district, but it means that if you want to be heard in the public hearing, this is when you do it. Some of the things that people might be weighing in on are the cultural resources grants. So a lot of money in this budget, more than I've ever seen before, has been put forward to cultural regeneration. So they're trying to find ways to really boost the ways that we enjoy and promote and contribute to cultural heritage on Maui. I don't really want to say anything one way or another, but I think that we all need to look very closely at that and make sure that that is meeting those goals. Another thing I think that we're going to hear in these public hearings is that there are not a lot of capital improvement projects for Upcountry, Makua, Haiku, and Paia. Besides a road fix in Haiku, there's not a lot going on up here. A lot of the improvements are being done in the central area and on the west side, which is great. There's a lot of people who live there, but I'm sure we're going to hear that and hear about that in those public hearings. There's also not money put towards water. So this is a huge issue on Maui, right? So there's some money put towards buying the Wailuku water system, not as much as we expected to be put in the budget, but that's because there was money in the last budget towards that. But we don't see anything addressing the East Maui water concerns. There's some major renovation projects that need to happen. We also have some major stormwater problems. And that last flood was a huge thing. That was huge. And usually water delivery systems have to also include stormwater mitigation. And it's missing from this budget. So I think that we're going to hear that in the public hearing. I'm sure our council members are going to bring a lot of that up. What is really affecting the county right now? What are those main topics and how are they addressed in this budget? Again, I invite you all to look at it, look through it. Reach out to Maui Pono Network if you'd like to talk about it or just want to know, how you can participate more. But really just hopping in on that public hearing, you'll hear other people testify, and then usually that'll pique your interest. Again, take a look at the document. The first 80 pages is all you probably need to look through closely in order to participate, or even the first 30 pages. If you're not a big reader, you can look at those first 30 pages. So thank you for being a part of this process. It's very important. We don't have a lot of control except how the money is spent. So we as the public really do need to participate in that. All right. And we'll see you next week for another update, and we'll keep you posted on how it goes on these budget hearings.